from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Dilanjali Anand. These are the top stories making headlines for tonight.
University lecturers decide to engage in evaluation of the advanced level answer scripts. Vesak full moon Poya Day falls tomorrow. All preparations made to declare open the Buddha Rashmini National Vesak Zone. An all-island drug prevention program for Vesak and Poson full moon Poya Days. 21 killed from Russian airstrikes on Kherson region in Ukraine. Now to those and more stories in detail. On today's top story, Federation of University Teachers Association has decided to engage in the evaluation of the GCE Advanced Level Examination answer scripts.
President of the association, Shyam Banaheka, says that they will take part in the evaluation process whenever the Ministry of Education or the Department of Examination convenes them. President of Federation of University Teachers Association, Shyam Banaheka, said that after considering the public appeals, they decided to engage in the examination answer script evaluation process. He said that they made this decision not in fear of the threats or other intimidations leveled by the government. He added that the association always carries the best interests of the public. Accordingly, he said that the membership of the association will take part in the advanced level answer script evaluation process at any time.
Chief Prelates of the Asgiri Malvatta chapter urges devotees to engage in religious activities by prioritizing Pratipatti and Amisa Puja and illustrating the objectives of the Vesak full moon Poya Day. The Chief Prelates made these remarks in Vesak full moon Poya Day. Chief Prelate of the Asgiri chapter, Venerable Varakagwada Dhammaratana Thera, said that the Vesak festival is considered as one of the monumental events of the Buddhist community in the world. The Chief Prelate said the people should live without causing any harm to others.
අනුන්ගේ අයහපත පිණිස අනුන්ට කරදර වෙන විදිහට ක්‍රියා කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා උසස් මනසකින් යුක්තව හොඳ බුද්ධිමත් මිනිසුන් හැටියට ශ්‍රද්ධා සීල ගුණ දියුණු පවණු කරමින් තමන්ගේ නිවෙස් වල
Deputy Chief Prelate of the Malvatta chapter, Venerable Dibul Kumare Vimalaratna Thera, urged the Buddhist devotees to observe Sil on the Vesak full moon Poya Day, either at a temple or at home. The state Vesak festival was inaugurated at the Sri Ratnasiri Piriven Viharaya in Kibbalivara, Chilab today.
The ceremony was held with the participation of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The state Vesak festival will be held for a period of 7 days centering Putlam district. The festival includes various programs and activities. Mahasangha, other religious leaders, foreign envoys, public representatives and state officials were present at this occasion. Chief Incumbent of Sri Ratnasiri Piriven Vihara and Deputy Judicial Registrar of Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya, Venerable Halpanvila Palithathera, presented commemorative tokens to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Buddhasasana during the event. This year's State Vesak Festival is jointly organized by the Ministry of Buddhasasana and Religious Affairs, Department of Buddhist Affairs, All Ceylon Shasana Rakshaka Bala Mandala and state institutions in Putlam district. Now, Buddha Rashmini National Vesak Zone has been organized in a granular manner this time.
The zone, which is scheduled to commence tomorrow, will continue until May 7th. Today is the second day of the Vesak week. Many religious activities will be conducted on Vesak full moon Poya Day at the Gangarama temple. Various other programs have also been added in the Vesak zone, including dancehall, lanterns, flower processions and pandal displays. The Vesak zone is jointly organized by the Gangaram Temple, Presidential Secretariat and the Prime Minister's Office. The National Television is the media sponsor of the National Vesak zone.
හිරුසේ ලොව සනසවනා තරුවියනක් සේ සිත පහදවනා උදාලා හිරුසේ.
Most Venerable Mahasangha, His Excellency the President, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ministers and distinguished representatives of the foreign missions in Sri Lanka and our devotees. Vesak marks the birth, enlightenment and parinirvana of Gautama the Buddha more than 2600 years ago. Buddha taught the world equality and equanimity. We should learn to treat all humans equally and with metta, loving kindness. Then the world would become a better place with peace to all. The Gangarama Temple, in collaboration with the President's Office and Prime Minister's Office, have organized the Buddha Rasmi Vesak National Festival for the 16th time. I take this opportunity to thank the foreign dignitaries for coming up with very creative and beautiful lanterns and decorations which adorn the Buddha Rasmi festival this time. They have participated in the past as well, but this time with short notice and trying weather conditions. May the thousands of lights lit to mark Vesak bring peace and harmony to the universe. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you with good health and happiness.
In line with the Buddha Rashmi National Vesak Zone, a Bhakti Gee recital will be held today on the steps of the main door of the Presidential Secretariat. Sri Lanka Police Bhakti Gee troop will take part in the recital.
Many Vesak zones and other colorful decorations, including pandals and lanterns, have been set up across the country to celebrate the Vesak Full Moon Poya Day, which is tomorrow.
The National Dangerous Drug Control Board has decided to implement a series of drug prevention programs covering the entire country, aiming the Vesak and Poson full moon Poya days. A media briefing in this regard was held in Colombo today. Chairman of the National Dangerous Drug Control Board, Chakya Nanakara, said that during the Vesak and Poson season, major attention will be directed on how to overcome the drug addiction from the Buddhist psychology. Accordingly, he said they will utilize various methodologies and concepts mentioned in Buddhist psychology to overcome addiction easily.
The Foreign Minister Ali Sabri requests all parties concerned to agree on a meaningful debt relief package for countries under debt stress. He made these remarks while delivering the Sri Lanka's intervention at the 56th annual meeting of the Asian Development Bank taking place in Incheon, South Korea yesterday.
The COVID-19 pandemic created new challenges for all of us. Growth prospects are weakened due to the tightening financial conditions, large downside risks in most countries, even limited fiscal space and depleting reserves. Due to the continuous depreciation of its currencies, developing countries find it difficult to access international capital. I believe regional developing partners like ADB are expected to play a bigger role guiding the highly impacted countries to face the current challenges. I appreciate ADB's commitment to help its developing member countries recover from the COVID-19 pandemic by allocating $20.5 billion from its own resources in 2022. Last year, on the 5th May, when I chaired the business session of the ADB Board of Governors as the Governor representing Sri Lanka and the Minister of Finance, our country was facing an extremely challenging situation due to social and political turmoil caused by the unprecedented economic crisis, resulted by long-standing underlying fiscal vulnerabilities, aggravated by the unremitting external shocks, including the Easter Sunday attack in April 2019, COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian-Ukraine war. I remains with gratitude many encouraging messages received by me from many multilateral and bilateral partners, including the ADB, that are willing to assist us at that time. I am happy to announce that today we are looking forward with a glimmer of hope as we have just navigated our way out of the abyss of extreme complication we faced. Suffering of the Sri Lankans have been eased to a certain degree. During the last 10 to 12 months, we have adopted strenuous and difficult actions to control the inflation, and recently we have seen our currency, the Sri Lankan rupee, is marginally appreciating. But we are aware that we cannot be satisfied with the little progress we have made thus far. Sustaining this development is the demanding task ahead of us. Today we begin a new journey to build a vibrant and resilient economy to face the current challenges. Learning from the past, we are undertaking painful reforms. We have laid the basic foundation for transforming the economy and have launched a comprehensive economic reform program seeking to stabilize the economy and to address the macroeconomic challenges. I wish to highlight the successful conclusion of the negotiation with the International Monetary Fund entering into a EFF facility. Sri Lanka remains committed to debt resolution consistent with the IMF program. I urge all parties to agree on a meaningful debt relief package for the countries who are under debt stress. I am confident that by moving forward, we will be able to improve fiscal performance and stabilize the economy in near future. I wish to underscore the importance of financial support from our multilateral and bilateral partners to bridge financing gaps that may arise in our recovery process this year and in the coming couple of years, especially the expenditure required for the social protection in the medium term. Sri Lanka is not alone in that trajectory.
The Governing Council of the President's Fund met at the Presidential Secretariat under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe, marking the first meeting after 4-year hiatus.
The meetings focused on implementing several special programs to enhance the services provided for the public through the President's Fund. The Council is comprised of 7 members, including the President, Prime Minister, the Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition, the President's Secretary and 2 members appointed by the President. Venerable Dr. Madagoda Abhiyathissa Nayakathera is also an appointed member. All members attended the meeting except for the Opposition Leader Sajith Premadasa. The President's Fund has contributed significantly to the welfare of the public, particularly in providing medical aid to those suffering from serious illnesses, with the primary objective of alleviating poverty. Under the Fund Act, financial assistance is provided for surgery and medical treatment for various ailments. In line with the President's instructions and the guidance of the President's Secretary, necessary measures were taken to complete the medical aid requests received by the President's Fund by December 31st, 2022. The applications were sorted and processed. The eligible beneficiaries received benefits. More than 1,717 million rupees were spent. To streamline the application process, the President's Fund Secretary Sarath Kumara simplified the system to make it efficient, enabling applicants to receive the benefits within a week. Since the approved hospitals for providing medical benefits are concentrated in the vicinity of major cities, by starting the registration of hospitals located in rural areas, facilities have been provided to grant medical assistance to patients in remote areas to get treatments and surgeries from approved hospitals in those areas. Taking into account the current economic situation and the cost of surgery and treatment, the maximum limits for medical aid paid for the diseases have also been increased.
The Met Department says a low-level atmospheric disturbance is likely to develop over the southeast Bay of Bengal from May 6th onward. The department has further indicated a considerable increase of rainfall in many parts of the country due to this condition. Many parts of the country experienced heavy showers in the past couple of days. Reports have indicated that paddy fields and low-lying areas in northern province have been inundated due to the inclement weather condition in the country. The Met Department in its forecast has indicated that several spells of showers will occur in Western Province and in Gaul, Mathura, Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mannar and Putlam districts. Fairly heavy showers are likely to occur at some places in Eastern, Uva and Northern provinces and in Polonnaruwa district. Landslide warnings have been issued for 3 districts in the face of the rainy conditions in the country. Accordingly, warnings have been issued for Badulla, Kegol and Mathura districts. The relevant warning will remain effective until the end of the day.
Chief of the Air Staff of Indian Air Force, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chowdhury called on the Defence Secretary, General Kamal Gururatne, at the Ministry of Defence yesterday. The visiting Indian Air Force Chief was warmly welcomed by the Defence Secretary on his arrival at the Ministry. During the discussions, the Defence Secretary mentioned about the close relationship shared between the two countries. He expressed the gratitude for India's assistance to Sri Lanka at times when the country was facing an economic crisis. Air Chief Marshal Chowdhury praised the high professional standard of the Sri Lankan Armed Forces personnel attending the training courses in India. He was also of the view that new avenues should be explored to boost defence cooperation, especially between training and technology exchange. At the culmination of the meeting, mementos were exchanged to mark the occasion.
Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva says that the government plans to develop Hinguranggoda Airport as an international airport. The minister expressed these remarks at a special discussion held at the ministry yesterday. During the discussion, the minister expressed confidence in the ease of facilitating visits to Polonnaruwa, Anuradhapura, Sigiriya and Dambulla by transforming Hinguranggoda into an international civil airport. This transformation is aimed at increasing foreign exchange earnings by attracting more foreign travellers and tourists to these historical, scenic and cultural sites. The minister said that a field study should be conducted in order to take immediate measures to improve and develop the airport for the landing and taking off 8330 aircrafts. Extending the current runway, construction of an access way to the airport runway, setting up an air navigation system, construction of an air traffic control tower and passenger terminal at the airport were decided among essential measures. Ministry officials were present on this occasion.
Canadian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Eric Walsh says that Canadian government will continue to support the economic stabilization program in Sri Lanka. The High Commissioner made these remarks in a discussion held with the State Minister Shehan Semasinghe. The newly appointed Canadian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Eric Walsh, expressed his appreciation for the reforms carried out by Sri Lanka with regard to International Monetary Fund's program. Also, the Canadian government's support for Sri Lanka's agricultural modernisation program was also discussed at length. The State Minister of Finance explained the reforms and the commitment of the people to stabilise the economy of the country. The High Commissioner further mentioned that the Government of Canada will continue to support the implementation of development programs in Sri Lanka. The Arabian Travel Market 2023 exhibition is currently underway at the Dubai World Trade Center.
This exhibition has been organized with the aim to promote tourism. .150 countries have taken part in the 30th Arabian Travel Market 2023 exhibition. New entertainment opportunities and new technology for tourism industry are introduced at the event. The brands pertaining to tourism industries will also be introduced at this event. This is the only tourism exhibition organized centering the Middle East with the aim to create awareness over the tourism sector. Director of Miss Traveller program telecast on national television, Tamasha Jayasuriya, has also taken part in the exhibition for promotional activities. The exhibition is set to conclude today.
Approval has been received to issue a voucher for the farmer community during the Yala season for the purchasing of urea and MOP fertilizers. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that the President and the Finance Committee granted approval yesterday for this proposal in this regard. The Minister made these remarks during a discussion held at the Ministry of Agriculture with the participation of representatives of all fertilizer importing companies. The government has decided to provide 20,000 rupees per hectare and 40,000 rupees per 2 hectare for purchasing urea and MOP fertilizer in this Yala season. The Minister said the farmers will be given an opportunity to purchase fertilizer either from the state or private sectors without any hindrance. The government is set to withdraw the responsibility pertaining to distribution of fertilizer from Maha season 2023-2024. Accordingly, private sector will be vested responsibility to supply fertilizer required for the country. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
டெபிட் அட்டை, மொபைல் மற்றும் இன்டர்நெட் பேங்கிங், கார்ட்லெஸ் கேஷ் உடன் 10 நிமிடங்களில் வங்கி கணக்கை திறக்க முடியும். பீப்பிள்ஸ் பேங்க் டிஜிட்டல் பேங்கிங் உடன் இணையுங்கள்.
நல்ல நேரம் தெரிஞ்சு கொண்டன், டீ குடிக்கிற நேரம் கூட போயல.
பீப்பிள்ஸ் பேங்க் டிஜிட்டல் பேங்கிங், உண்மையான சுதந்திரம்.
Welcome back on Foreign News. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky insists that Russian leader Vladimir Putin must be brought to justice for his war crimes in Ukraine.
President Zelensky was speaking a day after Moscow accused Ukraine of attempting to assassinate Vladimir Putin. Speaking at The Hague, Ukraine's president called for the establishment of a war tribunal to hold Russia accountable for the alleged war crimes. President Zelensky accused Russia of 6,000 war crimes in April alone, leading to a death of 207 Ukrainian civilians, including 11 children. The Ukrainian president listed other alleged war crimes by Russia, including the millions of strikes in Donbas region and those killed during the occupation of Bucha. In the meantime, Russia accused the United States of an alleged drone attack on the Kremlin after initially bombing Kiev. This is the most dramatic charge Moscow leveled against Kyiv and the allied nations since the war on the neighbor began. Putin was not in the building at the time and there was no material damage, the Kremlin, the officials said, as they won the right of retaliation. Ukraine strongly denied the claims and United States has not responded to the claims. Meanwhile, the attacks have been reported in the capital of Kyiv as well as the Zaza and Odessa in the south. Yesterday, Russian strikes on Ukrainian southern Kherson region killed 21 people.
Now, the U.S. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation says more than 500 banks across the United States have closed since 2001. American regulators seized and then sold First Republic Bank to J.P. Morgan Chase recently, marking the second largest ever U.S. bank collapse in the past 2 months, following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Of all the banks that closed since 2001, the largest was Washington Mutual, which closed in September 2008 during the early stage of the financial crisis. The closure of First Republic Bank is the second largest bank closure in the United States and the largest since the end of the financial crisis. About 70 banks across the United States have closed over the past decade. In March This year, the study jointly released by economists from multiple universities in the United States showed that the U.S. Federal Reserve's rate hike greatly increased the vulnerability of the U.S. banking system. Affected by the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hikes, the value of financial assets has shrunk sharply, and the asset value of some banks have even decreased by more than 20%. According to the study, if market confidence continues to weaken, and more depositors withdraw their deposits, as many as 186 banks may become insolvent and face the risk of closure.
Now on to sports news. Sri Lanka's women cricket team secured a 58-run victory in the second one-day international match played in Bangladesh's women's cricket team. The match was played at the SSC ground in Colombo.
Due to heavy showers experienced in the morning, the start of the match was delayed. Accordingly, each team received 30 overs for their innings. Batting first, Sri Lanka managed to put up a score of 186 runs for the loss of 5 wickets for their innings. Shamari Atapattu scored 64 runs while Harshita Samaravikrama was not out 45. Chasing the target of 187, Bangladesh only managed to gather 128 runs in their innings. Urshadi Ranasinghe picked up 5 wickets for Sri Lanka. Former world and Olympic sprint champion Tori Bowie has passed away. Her agency in a statement confirmed the death of the former Olympic champion. She had previously won 3 gold medals in international championships.
You know, try to conquer it.
Mumbai Indians secured a significant victory against Punjab Kings in an Indian Premier League match played yesterday. The match was played in Mohali. Batting first, Punjab scored 214 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. Liam Livingstone scored 82 runs. Mumbai managed to chase down the target of 215 runs with 6 wickets in hand. Ishan Kishan scored 75 runs, while Surya Kumar Yadav scored 66.
That's it for tonight's English News Telecast. Thanks for joining us.